So the Pink Floyd bun fight continues. Of course, there's been a lot of fuss and ballyhoo made over the recent video that Roger Waters has uploaded, effectively venting his spleen over not being allowed access to the Pink Floyd website. I've been asked by a few of you to express an opinion on this, so I thought I would do that, but also thought it might be interesting to look at the history of this Pink Floyd feud. So it has to be said, of course, that David Gilmour is not an original member of the band. Nevertheless, that being said, we can't deny the fact that he makes a massive contribution to the overall sound and aesthetic of this group. I've often said that him joining the band in '68 brings a grace and musical orthodoxy to them, to Roger Waters' very spiky ideas, conceptual, helps him realise sonically Roger Waters' grand conceptual visions, so to speak. So I think the band were focused on success or achieving success, which of course they do globally, with Dark Side of the Moon in 1973. Now, interesting, of course, they've all said that once they'd achieved that goal, they kind of felt a little bit aimless as well, where do we go now? And there's also, I think, when you achieve something that you long for, once you have it, it doesn't feel as satisfying as you thought it would do. And I think after that, certain tensions begin to rise, certain resentment over the success and who was more instrumental in that success. I think that begins to creep into the band. The band feel a little bit lost, I think, after Dark Side of the Moon. They've all said that there is this sense of absence, this sense of really not being there, as Gilmour says in the Wish You Were Here documentary about the making of Wish You Were Here. And also, of course, Wish You Were Here does explore absence and loss. But as Roger Waters seizes more and more artistic control over the band, many of art used the adjective dictatorial. They start to explore darker and more political themes, and there then starts to become this vying for ascendancy, I think, between Gilmour and Waters, with the other two just kind of almost going with the flow, to being relegated to the session musicians to a certain extent. Of course, after Wish You Were Here, we get the brilliant Animals, Waters' Orwellian beast fable, which has got to be the Pink Floyd's greatest album. Well, I think it ranks just under Dark Side of the Moon. And then The Wall, of course, which is very much Waters' vision, conceptual vision of what he wanted to explore. I think tensions were extremely strained at this point. Of course, we know that Richard Wright is sacked from the band and isn't employed really just to continue, that was just used to continue the tour. And then the final cut, which Gilmour feels that it often just uses offcuts from The Wall in many respects, but is very much in all but name Roger Waters' solo album. Of course, after the band go their separate ways, David Gilmour's solo album, About Face, doesn't do particularly well. The tour doesn't do particularly well, making Gilmour realise the currency and the value of that Pink Floyd name. And of course, Roger Waters states in 1985 that Pink Floyd as a creative force are a done deal. They're spent, I think he says. So Roger Waters deems that the Pink Floyd name is defunct. He goes on tour, of course, promoting his album with Eric Clapton, and on the posters it's Roger Waters of Pink Floyd in very bold letters. So I think he understood the currency of that as well. I remember him talking in an interview during the Radio Chaos years, saying that how upset he was that the other three members were playing much bigger stadiums than he was, playing songs that he'd effectively written. Then of course you get the momentary lapse of reason period where the band legally look to explore whether they can in fact carry on as Pink Floyd, and of course then Roger Waters sues them, tries to stop the tour going on, and I read somewhere, or somebody told me, that on the Momentary Lapse of Reason tour, the band actually had toilet paper with Roger Waters' face printed on it. I don't know if that's true or not. It might just be one of those things people say. But of course it upset Waters even more that Bob Ezrin got involved with the Momentary Lapse of Reason project. He saw that as a betrayal, a further betrayal, and as I said, the lawsuit ensues. Waters sues his bandmates over their right to use the Pink Floyd name. So Roger Waters loses the case. He gets well compensated, of course, but he loses the right to gain any control over the Pink Floyd name or Pink Floyd brand. He has recently, of course, said he's gotten well over that. He fully appreciates that Pink Floyd is just a name, really, that he doesn't necessarily he doesn't own that, and that he's at peace with that. And there has been some reconciliation between them. We do know, of course, Live Aid, where they join, and Roger Waters expressed some desire after that for there to be a tour with the original members, and how fabulous that would have been, but unfortunately that never happened. And then, of course, since then we've had, David Gilmour appearing with Roger Waters on stage, and recently with Nick Mason. So we have this feeling that there has been a general thawing. So we all hoped that this spikiness would go away and there would perhaps be a Pink Floyd reunion. Since then, of course, David Gilmour has said that his pop band Pink Floyd have been retired, that they are no more. So I don't really think there's any appetite at all from Gilmour to get together with Waters to do anything, which is a shame. So we get this with this video, of course, of Waters is lamenting and venting his spleen over not having access to the Pink Floyd website. Well, arguably, he says he is a vital, and of course he is, a pivotal figure in the Pink Floyd history. And as fans, we all identify and recognise that. But Gilmour would argue he's not a member of Pink Floyd anymore, so he shouldn't be accessing the website. Do we think that is right or wrong? My personal feeling is, considering that Roger Waters and the fans want to see contributions from Waters and what he's doing, I think he should be involved with the website. He should be allowed to post on the website. But I think maybe his posts should be vetoed. In other words, I think they shouldn't provide a platform for all his political musings that can go on his own website. But he should be allowed to talk about his projects, tours, albums, and things like that. So I feel that he should be allowed to contribute in that respect. So that's my feelings on this recent video upload from Roger Waters and this whole Pink Floyd feud. Anyway, what do you think? Do you think I'm right, or do you think Gilmour is correct to keep Waters off the site, or do you think Waters is right and he should have full access to the website? I'd certainly be interested in your opinions, which I'd love you to express below. So it just leaves me to say thank you for watching. Please click like and subscribe. Check that bell so you get notified of any future uploads. If you like my musings on music, please by all means check out my Patreon for other ways you can support my channel and check out extra content. So appearing on this screen now are 2 cards, which of course are links to videos that I think you'll find very interesting. So it just leaves me to say stay safe and please do keep listening.